Welcome to episode 2 of the Mad Supplement Scientist, where you get no BS supplement advice from a fitness model who is not affiliated with any supplement company, who is taking these supplements himself and is going to give you his no BS opinion on them. 100% pure science, no bro science, straight to the fucking dome on all these ingredients, if it works, what goal it's best for, and if you should choose it. So today we're gonna break down some Pharm Combat Protein Powder, and I'm gonna break down every single ingredient, and I'm gonna tell you if it's gonna help you build muscle, burn fat, what my favorite flavor is, and if you should invest your hard-earned money in some Pharm Combat Powder. Let's get started. Some of the benefits of Pharm Combat Protein Powder. Number one, I really like the fact that it has 5 different sources of protein. So you have to understand that proteins digest at different rates. You have your rapid, fast-release proteins like your hydrolysate and your isolate and your concentrate, and then you have your slower and medium-release proteins like your casein and your egg protein. So Combat Powder has a precise blend of all 5 of these protein sources, so it's actually a really versatile protein. I think it's a complete waste of money to buy a casein protein powder and just take that late at night, and then you pay a lot of money for like a hydrolysate or an isolate protein powder, and you just have that after your workout. I think that it's a really good investment, especially if you're a college kid or you're a little bit tight on money, to invest in a 5 protein source blend such as Pharm Combat Powder. That is all you need. Guys, I do fitness modeling. I work in the fitness industry year round, and even I don't invest money in a separate casein and a separate isolate protein powder. I will use this protein powder for my post-workout. I'll also use it as a meal replacement, and I will also use it late at night if I don't have any protein or I'm traveling. So it's really versatile. It's gonna give you a 4 to 8 hour release of amino acids and protein. I know they advertise it as an 8-hour release. That's a bit exaggerated, but it's gonna give you at least a 4-hour release of amino acids. It's gonna help you maintain that positive nitrogen balance and build lean muscle mass. So breaking down the macros for Combat Powder. So you gotta look at the protein percentage, the serving size, the proteins, the carbs, and the fats. Now the thing about a lot of protein powders, I noticed this about Syntha 6 by BSN. It has a ton of extra carbohydrates and grams of fat. Now, I always choose a protein powder in the sense that I want it to taste really good, but I also don't want it to have a lot of carbs and a lot of fat. And I believe Pharm Combat Powder achieves just that. So you look at the serving size, it's got 35 grams total in the serving size. Now, obviously it's a protein powder. You're purchasing it for your protein needs, trying to go beast mode and replenish those hardworking muscles. So it's got 25 grams out of the 35 that are protein. So this is a pretty good protein percentage. There are better out there, but the ones that have a really high protein percentage definitely don't taste very good. Now, what constitutes the other 10 grams? Because obviously there's that 35 gram serving size and there's 25 grams of protein. Now, what's in between these is usually what separates a really good protein powder and a really bad protein powder. So with Combat Powder, we have 5 grams of carbohydrates. So that's not the best. There are some protein powders that have 0 grams of carbohydrates, but there's some ingredients that really make it taste good. There's gluten-free cookie crumbs. I believe there's a tad of maltodextrin and a few other, sugars and sweeteners that give it a really awesome taste. And then there's 2 grams of fat. And then you have 3 grams, the 3 grams left over, that are basically, other amino acids, a little bit of artificial sweetener, and things like that. And there's also branched chain amino acids and glutamine. So overall, it's a pretty clean formula with 5 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fat, and 25 grams of protein. So I believe that this protein can be used even when you're cutting. In fact, I'm right now going through about a 12 to 16 week cutting period. I'm trying to focus on losing my body fat and maintain all my muscle mass. And I will choose this for an intra-workout and a post-workout shake. You could also use it for a mass builder. All you'd have to do is add in some maltodextrin and add in some creatine and some glutamine, and you'd have an awesome mass builder. So it's really versatile in the sense that you could just use it post-workout even when you're cutting, and you could also create your own mass building formula when it's during bulking season. Now, what flavor is the best? I've actually tried every single Pharm Combat Protein Powder And there is two in particular that I really like. So number one is I really like the cookies and cream. In fact, I think this is the best because it's gonna be the cheapest, it's the easiest to find. It's got cookie crumbs in it, so you can use it in smoothies. You can make different like cookies and cream, high protein milkshakes with it, and it tastes amazing just in plain old almond milk or with water. And then the orange cream one is actually pretty good too if you want a little tropical twist, but that one's gonna cost you a little more money. I found the cookies and cream one at Vitamin Shop for I think $43, and I've seen it on Amazon.com for as cheap as $40 for the 4.2 pound tub. So overall, it's a really cheap protein powder compared to a lot of the other options out there. So I highly recommend Muscle Pharm Combat Protein Powder, specifically the cookies and cream flavor, the chocolate milk and the vanilla. Those are all really good flavors. Banana cream is a pretty interesting option. I actually enjoyed that. It has a pretty strong banana taste, but if you really love banana, that was also a good option. Cinnabon was mediocre. I'll rate it like a B+. And the mixed berry one, I really did not like very much at all. So my pick goes to the cookies and cream. I'm gonna give it an overall rating of an A-. It could have been an A. There's a few other protein powders that I like a little bit more for the taste, but they didn't have quite the clean ingredient profile that Muscle Pharm Combat Protein Powder has. It doesn't have the cleanest ingredient profile out there, but overall, it's really good, much better than Synthesix by BSN and a lot of the other mainstream options out there. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Mad Supplement Scientist. Talk to y'all real soon.